What is up, everybody? It's Oliver here from Creepy Curio, and today I have a really interesting video for you guys. Something I haven't really seen on YouTube is a lot of talk about the Satanic religion. Now, I'm not talking about theistic Satanism, which believes in a literal Satan, and as such, they also believe that there is a God, but they choose to worship Satan. No, I personally believe that Satanism is atheism on steroids. I've only been a Satanist for about a year now. I actually found Satanism on my own a few years ago, and I was interested in it at the time, but I chose not to pursue it because it was just a little bit too much for me at the time because I was only 16. But after meeting my partner and discovering that he was also a Satanist, I chose to try to pursue the religion, I guess you could say. I wouldn't personally say that I believe it's a religion. Well, I guess you could say we worship ourselves, if that makes sense. But I wanted to be able to put out some videos dispelling some of the rumors and the misconceptions about Satanism and to be able to shine a light on the mysteriousness of the religion. So today I will be talking about the 11 satanic rules of the earth. Number 1. Do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. This one I feel is pretty self explanatory, but for those of you who are confused, I feel like technically maybe being on social media would break that rule, but also nobody's forcing you to click on a post or to click on a video. You are choosing to listen to them. So therefore, when you choose to listen to that video and they're putting that information out there, or you choose to read that post, you are asking to be given advice and or opinions. So I feel like for social media it doesn't really break the rule, even though technically it does. But yeah. Number 2, do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Now, I feel like this applies to them specifically asking you, hey, what's wrong? Or, hey, do you want to talk about it? But I feel like it also applies to friends and family that you know are trusted and you know are interested and they care about what you have to say. So you don't have to specifically wait for them to offer to listen to your troubles, but it's a good idea to make sure that you know they're in a good place to hear it and you know that they have the time to spend on it. And more importantly, you know that they are the type of person to offer themselves for support for their friends. Because again, if they are offering to listen to you, if they are the type of person to be the shoulder you cry on, then it's fine to rely on them to vent to them. 3. When in another's home, show them respect or else do not go there. I feel like this applies to not only people's actual homes, where they live, where they congregate, but I feel like it also applies to online communities because, people will use social media as sort of their diary, I guess, or, the place that they feel most comfortable at. So I would also consider social media to be a quote unquote home that you should not enter unless you want to be respectful. Number 4, if a guest in your home annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. Now, I feel like this one sounds a little bit extreme and scary, and it can confuse a lot of people. But personally, the way that I choose to see it is if someone is disrespecting you or if someone is making you feel uncomfortable, you shouldn't just offer yourself as the doormat for them to walk on. You should be able to stand up for yourself. You should be able to say, hey, I'm not dealing with this. If you want to disrespect me, there's the door. And it's that easy. Now, it's taken me a little bit to learn this rule for myself because I'm the type of person to be very apologetic. I tend to be the type of person that takes a lot of things personally, and I try my best to make people like me, but I've come to realize that not everyone in the world is gonna like me, and that's okay. You can be the kindest, you can be the most awesome person in the entire world, and somebody's still gonna have an issue with that because they think you're fake or they think you're trying too hard. You know, you're never gonna win with everybody. So you have to kind of come to this realization that the only way that you're gonna live a happy life is if you're trying to only impress yourself. 5. Do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. Now, I'm not talking about, a bird dance. Caw-caw! Date me! Not talking about that. I'm talking about breathing. That's what I want to talk about. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about when someone gives you the sexy eye, or, they legitimately say, hey, I want to date you. Or, whatever indicators that say that I'm interested in you as a partner. Not smiling, not looking sexy on the street, because women don't do that for you. Let's just face it. They do it for their friends, because women are gay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. But yeah, basically just try to make sure that you have all parties' consent before you pursue sexual relations or even dating. I mean, it's always good to make sure that somebody is fully on board, because who likes rejection? Nobody. Number 6. Do not take that which does not belong to you unless that person cries out to be relieved. I feel like this one is more of a update to the 10 commandment rule of, thou shalt not steal, because I feel like there's a lot of gray area in that. This applies more to the abstract than the actual tangible object, but it can apply to that too. But what I really feel like it's saying is to not take on burdens that aren't your own. I feel like this rule is pretty self-explanatory, just don't take shit that doesn't belong to you unless the person doesn't want it. Number 7. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it for success, you will lose all that you have obtained. Now, I feel like not every person who is a Satanist believes in magic, but for me, magic is more putting energy into the universe and using my thoughts and willpower to bring what I want towards me. So if you really believe that you're gonna get that promotion, that you're gonna be successful, that you're gonna do what you want to do, it will happen for you. A lot of the time, people who use magic and witchcraft take objects and certain herbs and crystals, and they kind of assign their own meaning to them. And using the visualization technique of, okay, what I have in front of me is the ingredients that I need to perform this spell right. It's not necessarily that the ingredients themselves are the magic that you're using, but it's more so the association and the visualization of what you want to do. Attaching your intentions to objects and using them as a sort of honing signal for, the energy in the universe to come together and produce what you were looking for. So, keeping that in mind, when you decide magic doesn't work for me, it's stupid, that's putting energy out into the universe for it to not work for you. So, basically, what this is saying is if you want good things to happen, you have to put out the energy to achieve it. And if you're putting out energy that is negative, that is oppressive, then the universe isn't going to listen to that. Because as we all know, the universe is defiant. Number 7 again. Number 8. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. This one, again, is pretty self-explanatory. Basically what it's saying is if you put yourself in a bad situation, that's on you. You know, you have to own up and acknowledge that you yourself are the reason you are in your situation. So if you start complaining about it, you're not complaining to anyone, you're complaining to yourself. Because you are the oppressor. You are the perpetrator. So if you're in a dead-end job that you hate, get a new job. Don't sit there and complain about it. If you're in a relationship that you feel like is going nowhere and you're safe enough to leave, just leave. You know, it's that easy. Number 9, do not harm young children. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Don't hurt kids. It's kind of shitty. 10, do not harm non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. I feel like this one is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to explain it. And number 11. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them. Now, we're not talking about going full on fucking nuclear. Don't do that. But you gotta have boundaries. I feel like all of the rules kind of tie into each other. It's about having respect for yourself. So if someone is bothering you, you just ask them to stop. And if they don't, fuck them. Move on. It's as simple as that, folks. So I feel like at the end of the day, Satanism is about respecting oneself above all else. So all in all, Satanism and the 11 Satanic rules is basically about self-respect, about putting yourself first, and making sure that you're not doing harm to people just because. Now, nobody is going to come knocking on your door if you don't follow these rules. The Satanism committee isn't going to knock on your door and say you are now exiled from the church because you didn't follow the rules. It's ultimately up to you. There's no heaven or hell to go to. There's no ultimate goal except self-respect, as I said. The ultimate goal is about ascension of the self and obtaining knowledge and letting go of the need to please everyone. You know, you just have to live your life by how you want to live it. And if somebody has an issue with that, no skin off my back. As my mother always said, make like a duck and let it roll off your back. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Now, this was one of my first videos, so forgive me for being a little awkward, stumbling over my words a little bit. If there's anything I can do to improve, I would really appreciate you letting me know. And I would also really appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I plan on being here for a while.